All right, guys, what you were just seeing was one of our biggest conspiracies. That's Bob Joyce, Reverend Bob Joyce. I watch a channel, the Virtual Church of Disillusion, and that's where I've got introduced to this. Jack sees this. Shout out to Jack. I love your channel, Jack. Very fun and relaxing channel. But anyway, everybody, a lot of people think that's Elvis Presley that I just showed there. There is a lot to this story. I'm not going to go through it at all. Only thing I was wanting to do, guys, is I was wanting to talk and to point out, because a lot of people think, well, he's 87, 88 years old. He looks too young to be Elvis Presley. Well, there could be a little thing I can show that kind of disproves that. I don't know. I'm sure y'all do know Pat Boone. Pat Boone is a singer. He's many things. He's a great man. I haven't ever seen anything bad or said about Pat Boone. But I watched an interview of him here a while back, and he is the same age as Elvis Presley. And still gets around great, still sings great. Him and his family, he said in the interview, on his 90th birthday, they're getting ready to have a great time swimming and all this. Where all the family's going to get together and everything. So he is very up and active. And, I mean, for 87, 88 years old, just looks, I hope I look good at that age. So, that's what this little video is about. I love conspiracies. I'm not going to start my channel on like a conspiracy channel, but I love conspiracies, and at time to time I may put in something, you know, from my opinion. I'm just going to show this because for the people out there that says that he's too old, he don't look old enough or whatever, I'm going to show you all Pat Boone and the interview and what he looks like to date of 2024, and you all be the judge. Let me pause this. My button ain't working down there.
Months older than he, so we were both in our late 20th year. We both became 21 soon after that, but I beat him there by 6 months. So I had 3 hit records in October of '55 in Cleveland, a big sock hop, and I had my 3 hit songs to sing, so I was the headliner. But backstage, he walked in. That Bill Randall, the DJ, brought him from Shreveport, Louisiana, where he was making noise as a young hillbilly. When he came backstage, and I met him, hi, Otis, I'm Pat Boone. Nice to meet you. And I said, Bill Randall thinks some big things may be ahead for you. I don't know about that, but I hope so. And so he went on when Bill Randall introduced him as a kid they didn't know. But we're going to hear from him. Let's welcome young Elvis Presley. He went out and he sang Blue Moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. And the kids looking at him in wonderment because it wasn't rock and roll, it was bluegrass country. And I was looking out and I could tell they were whispering, oh, he's cute, isn't he? But what's that? Well, he finished that song, thank you very much, like Blue Buzz, Rugged Boy. And he did, that's all right, mama, that's all right with me. And that was rhythm and blues, which I liked, that the kids liked, and that's all he had. So when he finished, they applauded, they wanted more, but it thank you very much, and he left. Well, I came on and I got all the screams that night because I had 3 million selling hits since March of that year. But after that, he and I got to be good friends, 2 Tennessee guys, me from Nashville, him from Memphis. We were renting homes in Bel Air. We visited each other in our separate homes. He always had his boys with him playing pool in a pool room in his rented house. He had a couple from Memphis cooking for him. I go over and have dinner with him, and chicken fried steak and okra and biscuits and and just the kind of southern food we both like. He'd come over and see me on a Sunday afternoon, and my kids would be in the pool and they'd jump out, go see their friend, Daddy's friend Elvis, start jumping up on him, and he was hugging him, and I'm saying, girl, stop that, you're getting him all wet. Leave him alone, man, I like it. I like it. And he did. I could tell I had something he wanted, a wife, kids, family. And that, for him at least, was out of the picture. Colonel Tom Parker wouldn't even let it be known who he was dating, much less being married or out of any girl's fantasy as far as maybe getting with him someday. And so he lived in a way as a prisoner of his own fame. He told me once he wanted to go to church like I did, and I said, you can, why not? He said, no. He said, because I'll distract from the preacher, and the kids will be wanting my autograph, and I just can't do it. I said, don't you think it happens to me when I go to a church where I'm not a member? And I just tell the kids, you can do this. Say, kids, I'll sign your bulletins after church service. Let me worship like you while we're all here together. And then I'll sign that, and you can take them to school. Well, which they would do. And they'd say, was Elvis Presley or was Pat Boone at your church? Can we come? Mm-hmm. And I said, make it an evangelical outreach. Well, he sort of chuckled at that, but he said, I can't do it. I know. And he's right. He would be a distraction. But Elvis began to add into his shows gospel songs. And the last song I heard him sing in one of his performances was How Great Thou Art, which is a triumphant church or gospel song. And he sang it with all his heart and with more singing talent than I realized he had. But I could tell this was because he was yearning so for that spiritual support and reinforcement that he had as a child, which he hadn't had for years. And of course, his marriage was broken up, and he didn't see his daughter much, and he did not want.
All righty, guys. There it is. A little bit on Pat Boone and him and Elvis Presley meeting for the first time. I think it's really neat that Pat Boone was one of the first people Elvis started his career with. That's a very interesting documentary. Not well, I wouldn't call it a documentary, but interview with Pat Boone. Very, very interesting guy. He also is an actor. So, yeah, he's had one heck of a life. And seems very humble and just seems, he's really, none of this stuff ever went to his head for sure. But like I said in my book, the conspiracy goes on. In my book, Bob Joyce looks about the same, can't really tell by age. So who knows, guys? This is a great story. It's fascinating. There's so much. The rabbit hole goes deep on this one. And you know, if Bob Joyce is not Elvis, who knows? But he is preaching the word of God, and a lot of people are coming to see him, and that's number one thing that matters. And Elvis always was, you know, wanting to get closer to his faith. So, you know, who knows? It's anything's possible. Anything's possible. So, all right, guys. I hope y'all enjoy a little bit of this, and y'all, if you're interested, y'all, there's plenty of stuff out there on Bob Joyce, and if you get a chance, if you don't know anything about Pat Boone, kind of look into him and his life. He very interesting. So, all right, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'll see you right here, Redneck Ways. Bye, guys.